WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. I'm one of the first, so hopefully there'll be many of these. Other people will be doing them as well. Here we have the Glenallachie, the Virgin Oak Series. We have 12-year-old French oak, we have 12-year-old Spanish oak, and we have 12-year-old Chinquapin. I hope I pronounced that correctly. So what I'd like to do is actually to put those in the glass here. And what I'm going to do from the very, very beginning is I'm going to do a blind tasting. Now, in my German video, I've done each of these, all three of these. And for me, the Chinquapin had the least amount of oak. It actually was not bad, to be honest. But let's do this again. And over here we have the Spanish oak. The interesting thing about the Chinquapin is that it actually has wood that is from the US. Whoops, wrong cheat sheet. I have my cheat sheet here, so that's important. So the Chinquapin actually has the Quacos Mühlenbegli. It sounds almost Swiss for me, Swiss German. And it was from the Ozark Mountains in Missouri. And it had almost 4 years of air drying. Wow. Over here we have now our Spanish oak. Our Spanish oak is Quercus. That is the Latin name for oak. And it's Rubor. That's it's not Alba, which is more of the white oak. Alba white. Rubor is more for me of the red. And it was 18 months of air drying. And this is from the area of Galicia in the northern part by the Atlantic Ocean. And over here we have the French oak, which also is then Quercus rubor, the exactly same type of tree, but a different location. This is very close to the Pyrenees here in the on the border to France. So also 18 months of air drying. What Billy Walker of Glenallachie basically did is he took 10-year-old plus whiskey, and then he, which first of all was in ex-bourbon casks, and then he put that each of these into those separate virgin oak casks for about 18 months. All of this is non-chilled filtered. All of this is natural color, which is very good. And each of these bottles cost, at least over here in Germany, 61 euros and 90 cents. So right around 70 some dollars for you. So the French oak has the 167242 on the whiskey base, Spanish 167232, and the Chinquapin has 167231. New charred hogsheads, Chinquapin. Oh, new middle charred. Interesting. And these are new charred hogsheads each. Okay. So what I'm going to do is try them and then give a very brief tasting notes. On the nose, it's a little bit more subtle. There's a definite oak tone to it, a little bit like a lollipop stick. Going to the Spanish, much thicker, very new. For me, it almost smells like a German oak. Some of the people, the distillers over in Germany, have actually used German oak. And then you try the whiskey after 3.5 weeks, or 3.5 years, I'm sorry, and it basically tastes like the inside of a fresh-built sauna. Very oaky, very, very, very like a hot attic on a summer day. That's a good description for people in the States. And now we have our French oak. On the French oak, I get a more of a chocolatey type of mocha moment. So I should be able to recognize these blind. Mocha chocolate, hot addict, and over here, a little bit more of a darker, almost type of mahogany. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the boxes first of all. And I have them in the right order over here. And what I've done is on the bottom of each glass, there's actually either a F, an S, or a C. And what I have here are my glasses, and you can actually watch me do this. Oops. I forgot to pour one of these. Aren't I just a nice little bad person? I was just nosing the glass. That's interesting. Wow, that's very, very embarrassing, but also very, very telling of what's going on here. Yep, I still get exactly the same. Oh, that I just love smelling a glass. I actually did this in my German video last night. Now it's the next day, and I used exactly the same empty glasses, and I just smell of an empty glass is just so fantastic. Yep, as I mentioned, you get a little bit of that mocha, a little bit of that chocolate in there. Okay, Chinquapin, mahogany, German oak, European oak. Okay, good. Now what I wanted to do, and as Bart can actually testify, I'm going to pull this back a little bit so you can see. Now, if you talk and you actually do this at the same time, you can convince yourself that you have no idea where something is because you just get very confused. And I am very quickly confused, as you've noticed many times in my videos. And therefore, I cannot actually say where what glass is at this moment, and I really don't care. All right, so as I said, I have no idea. Not identical in the pores. This one's a little bit light, but I don't know what it was. I didn't pay attention. All right, good. On the nose, mahogany, chocolate vanilla, German oak. So that should be the C. It's the F. This should be, as I just said, the German, so that should be the S. It's the C. And this is actually then the S in the Spanish. Okay, good. Wow, isn't this fun? Jason got everything wrong. Whoa. So putting them back in the original position, C's over here. Spanish is over here, and also the French is over here. So now I'm going to taste them, nip on them. Trying to pull out one or two things that identify this whiskey. And the problem is they're all overly oaked. A slight bitter tardiness, but they're all going to have that. A little bit of a buttery moment. Okay. Moving over to our Spanish oak. Wow, I really do have that German oak moment there. That European oak Spessart is what it's called. And towards the end, it gets really bitter. A little bit of buttery, and a lot, too much. I did not, and I do not like the Spanish Virgin Oak. The French Virgin Oak. The French Virgin Oak. More of a high-grade chocolate. And a little bit higher pitched as well. Okay. A little bit of buttery, a little bit of nastiness, and a little bit of a high-pitched chocolate. Putting them back in here. So I was a little bit stingy here on my French oak, so that I have to actually balance this out here so I can't identify it just because of the full level, the volume level. All right, so once again, I'm going to talk. Whiskey Jason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. I used to do a lot more blind tastings. I've done quite a few blind tastings in my life. I love doing blind tastings, but I'm not very good at it, as we noticed on the nose. So let's see if this time I can identify the three, not on the nose, but rather on the taste. So the first one, a little bit milder. Wow. This one I definitely don't like, so I'm going to call it Spanish. It's a little bit high-pitched, though. Moving to the next one. Should maybe be doing cracker time in between. Getting dark chocolate moments. Light buttery moments. Kind of like that at this moment. And of course, the flavor of this has now affected this, and that's going to affect this. I do know, but I'm just trying to identify. Oh, it smells a very, very... It smells like the attic. So I'm going to change my Spanish and my Virgin Oak. Wow, I really don't like that one. All right, so I really don't like that one. Must be then our Spanish. Yes, it is Spanish, S. The one that was a little bit higher pitched should be our French. Yes, it is. And our little bit of buttery moment is our C. Yes, it is. All right. Wow, I redeemed myself. I was a little bit worried after the nosing here that I could not. Now, the funny thing is I did this last night with my German video as well towards the end, and my palate was shot. I didn't get it right. So I'm going to have to do that again and see if I can get it right like I did this time in my English video. All right, thank you very much for watching. If you like to suck on a wooden stick, these are the perfect whiskeys for you. I gave the Chinquapin a C-, and I gave the French oak a D, and I'm giving the, I just do not like the Spanish oak at all, a D-. This is just absolutely not my cup of tea. And the equivalent, this is basically a C- for value for money, and these are both D-, D- for value for money. It's a unique little special thing. If you really, 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 really like the oak taste, go for it. Otherwise, be warned, these are heavily over-oaked, in my opinion, way too much. Kudos to Billy Walker and his team for actually doing this, but I think 8 months would have been better than 18 months. But I guess he didn't want to have a 11-year-old product again, and so he had to wait for the 12 months or 12 years to be up. Who knows? Those casks really put in a lot of influence onto this whiskey. Not my cup of tea at all. So thank you very much for watching. Whiskey Jason here. Longer video than expected. But instead of 3 individual videos, I have just one here. Glenallachie Virgin Oak Series. Not my cup of tea. So question of the day is, what other Virgin Oak bottlings do you know of in Scotland? I know Deanston does a Virgin Oak. Who else does a Virgin Oak? Either as a core range or as a special edition. Thank you very much for watching. Whiskey Jason here. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for telling others. Thank you for sharing. And thank you very much. If you need to contact me at any time, please do it whiskeyjason@gmail.com or down below in the comments. I reply to every comment probably within a day or a week or maybe even 2 weeks. Depends on my schedule. See you soon. Bye-bye.